Hi there, I'm Chris Slight. A month ago I started this series with the aim of trying to rediscover what I loved about streaming and ultimately get back into a regular routine of live streaming and enjoying it is the main thing. So let's look at how we did. So barring a few weeks where I had to have a tooth pulled out of my head, don't recommend it unless they need to, don't just do it for fun. But I've streamed pretty consistently every Friday. So how's that gone? Get in there. Let me tell you why. So I started off almost disregarding all the advice I gave. Not all the advice, but disregarding like a key element. I went with a game specifically because I thought it would be funny or like just good content. It's like, listen to yourself. But here we are. The game was Gollum. But I mean, you've probably heard of it, right? Like, you remember when the reviews all came out and they were super bad? No shade on the development team. Making video games is ridiculously hard. But barring a few moments that were kind of funny here or there, like it mostly became a slog. Like, it mostly became not fun as I was playing it, and I was just like, I'm just not enjoying this video game. And that translates, like, if you're not even having fun anymore, you're just getting frustrated, or you're just, for me, a lot of the time it tends to just fall into silence. Like, I just start going like, which is never a good sign. I also started out trying to just like find the good in the game. I was like, how that could be a thing. Like, you look at bad games, you try and find the good in them. People might enjoy that. Much like Gandalf, I was like, come on, we can believe in Gollum. Don't just like chuck him in a pit or whatever. But I was wrong, because I didn't enjoy that concept. Like, that concept as a thing, I was like, I'd watch stuff about that. That's cool. But me actually doing it, less fun. I got to a point where I just kept dying over and over again. I just deleted the game midstream. It's a drastic action, and again, not a reflection on the development team, but I deleted it, and we started watching an old 90s variety show from the UK called Noel's House Party, because that had been playing in the back of my head for some reason. It was kind of the era I grew up in, and I remember watching it, and I was like, I bet that ain't good anymore. Like, I bet that's like aged poorly. Similar vibe, right? But more fun. Like, we had a ton of fun. Like, the audience was saying stuff like, oh, great stream. And again, we'll get into that. I've been very lucky, but we'll get into that. Saying, great stream. This is classic Chris, whatever that would be. But we just watched like weird YouTube adverts. Someone had made an entire like seminar, an advert. Like, it was an ad that started and it was an hour and 20 minutes. There were things for products that just clearly weren't going to work the way they were advertised. And the show itself was just weird. Like, it was very 90s. And it was very, you've only got 4 channels here in the UK on like regular TV. You could pay for expensive satellite TV, but 4 channels. It was weird, right? But we had a lot of fun. That was the main point. We had a lot of fun, and that made me go, okay. I enjoyed myself. The people watching enjoyed it a lot more. Follow this thread. So during that stream as well, someone had suggested, you should do Backwards Detective. For people that don't know, Backwards Detective is playing LA Noire, but you drive backwards. That's it. I can't remember how it started, but it became like a bit of a meme on my channel for a little bit. Very small meme for a very small core group, but it was a thing. I went back to it, we played it for a bit, I had fun for a bit, and then realized that like I'd not finished this game before, because you get to a point where you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Remember that thread. Remember the thread. I didn't listen to my own advice. I didn't follow the thing that was fun. Like, I was worried that I was maybe falling into the same trap again, right? Like, I wasn't following the fun. There wasn't the spontaneity that really, I think, engages me and engages the people that watch. And let's talk about that, because that was a worry of mine when we first started, that like no one would watch. And this is really like, this series is really intended for people that have streamed before, but haven't done it for ages because they've gotten older, they got more responsibilities, or like me, combo both, where you've got that, but you also tried to turn it into a job and brainmatized yourself into it not being fun anymore. So I drilled down on what made it fun and interesting for me, and what's always made live content fun and interesting for me is the spontaneity, like the just random stuff that can happen, the random little bits. Going back to stuff I'd done before was not gonna provide that, right? So we go down a different path. So what did I end up doing? I ended up, based on the recommendation of one of my viewers, watching a TV show called Nightmare. Now, it's basically like live action D&D from the late 80s, early 90s in the UK. It was a TV show. I'm aware of it, but I didn't watch a ton of it at the time it was on. So we thought, let's give this a go. Some engaging stuff. Like, it's pretty good. All of it's on YouTube. There's over 100 episodes of it. So here we are. We are back in the spontaneity, in the fun, watching weird old TV shows, which it turns out I super enjoy, and just laughing about them with like a few people in the audience. And let's talk about that audience, because this is one thing I wanted to address. If you're someone that's coming back to streaming after, in my case, years of not doing it, you may be surprised at the people who are like still coming in, that have stuck around, that are like still there for your content. It's wild. For me, I got really lucky. I got a couple of raids off another friend. Great guy, mostly Wolf. Check him out. Does really good content. I also have a friend who still streams, Imaginary Holly, who told her community to check my stuff out. Very lucky in both regards, because they've both built up like nice audiences, like good people. So that brought like newer people in. But when I first started, just 2 or 3 of the people that used to watch turned up. Were like, hey man, because I kind of kept talking to everyone on my Discord over time. You may have yourself done this. And it was, oh, hey man, yeah, cool, let's hang out. And that's kind of what it felt like. And that is very fun. And something you might have, like I say, if you haven't streamed for quite a while, it's nice to talk to those people again. Like the main kind of group of people that you're like, oh yeah, we haven't interacted like this in quite a while. We've been chatting in text, but we haven't like just hung out and watched TV or done something super fun. So you may be surprised going back to it, like the people that are still there, or at least I was. Like, it's really nice. One thing I wanted to talk about was like some tech changes that I've been doing. So I made a little video for XSplit a little while ago, detailing background removal. That's something I want to be doing, because I'm just watching a TV show, and as you can see in these clips, I'm just kind of getting in the way. But built into XSplit Broadcaster, you can see in this little video here, you can just use VCam technology and just, there you go, your background's removed. I've got a green screen, like I've got 2 nice lights. This is all like my old equipment, like that I've still got, but the green screen's big, the green screen's bulky. I gotta pull it out every time and like pull the whole thing up and set it up and then put it all away when I'm done. It's gotta go like down the side over there. It's annoying. This works pretty well. You don't have to have like the NVIDIA card if you don't have one. It just kind of works out of the box. Like I said, it uses the VCam technology. I've got to start using that in my streams, because then I'm not in the way of the TV show, and I don't have to make my camera like super small, which I was stupidly doing, rather than being like, oh yeah, that's something I can do. So that's been super useful. I've also been talking with them about some stuff that's coming up, but we'll get into that in the future. Some cool things coming down on the XSplit Broadcaster pipeline. So talking about what I've learned, I think I learned quite a big lesson, which is follow the fun, which was a lesson that I set out for myself and didn't follow, because I immediately fell into that hustle culture mindset of, oh, I gotta think of a cool hook, I gotta think of a thing, you know, people do and that they look for content for and stuff like that. Like, no. Remember what you said. You're 37 and you're tired. You don't have time to be hustle culturing. You just want to have fun. So I think the lesson I followed is seeing what actually engages me. To me, it's that spontaneity of a live setting. So watching these old TV shows and commenting on them, it's kind of low stakes in the amount of prep you have to do, but it's also really fun. Like, there's also weird, funny things that happen, like, that you get out of these shows. That might not work for you, right? Like, I wouldn't say copy that, but I would say follow the thing that is fun. Like, that is the most important thing. Whatever starts engaging you, that could be art, that could be making music, that could be anything, that could be playing games. Follow that. And that's going to make this, like, getting back into streaming thing a lot more simple and easier to actually do. Now, things I haven't achieved. I haven't managed to get into that extra day of streaming. I found Fridays, 3 p.m, my channel, consistently. I've been able to do that. That's been fine. But I want to add one more day because I want to make YouTube content. Why do I want to make YouTube content? We got to drill down on that. I want to make the kind of things I want to see. This could be a mistake as well, but I want to do that. So that's something we've got to look into next time. And I know there's stuff in XSplit Broadcaster, like with recording specific scenes and stuff like that, per scene capture and all that kind of thing that I could be using that could make that process a lot easier. So we're going to look into that next time. I think for the next month, I want to try and add that extra day, see if that's doable. For now, though, that's been me. What have you experienced trying to get back into streaming? Are you looking to get back into streaming? I'd love to answer questions for you guys here. Like, I'd love to do Q&A videos or whatever. Like, anything you guys want to know about, even if it's about XSplit Broadcaster, it can be outside of this series. Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, though, I've been Chris Slight for XSplit, and I'll see you all next month for another episode of Getting Back into Streaming. Will we still be watching Nightmare? Will we still be hanging around, laughing at kids trying to play a weird D&D? Like, man, they're harsh on those kids. Like, they get one thing wrong, it's like, you're dead. Check it out, Nightmare, it's on YouTube. But anyway, take care of yourselves. I'll see you all next month. Have a good one.